Good morning, everyone, to CR&E Morning Brew, April 28th. How is everyone doing? Hey, wow, everybody's already in here. John, Scully Kill, how are you? Wigwag, how are you, sir? Jim Tedesco, wow, you're up early, Jim. Good morning. You guys hear me okay? Uh, Joe from Black Rock Central, good morning to you, sir, as well. Hey, nice trees. I watched your tree planting video the other day. Lucy, I really like your house. I think I commented on it. I really like your house that you built to model your own house, and I like the big, like almost O scale looking trees. Actually, they're great. Sorry, still messing around with these container trailers. Just something to do. Audio's good. Okay, cool. I'm a little fan on, or fan my heater, space heater on down here. Well, first of all, it's like 30 degrees this morning, which is crazy. It was 80 on Sunday. But mainly because I'm trying to get the Sculptamold to dry, so I have it kind of pointed at that. I'm hoping to do some work on it today. And the Sculptamold, I don't know, for those of you that have used it, John, I don't know if maybe your homemade stuff takes as long or not, or because it's homemade, I don't know, with the cellulose that I use. It just seems like it takes forever to dry. These trees were planted in 1959. Yeah. It's some nice old growth. Um, trees. As I built more of these trailers, they're getting a little bit easier. I kind of pick them up as I see deals on them, I guess. They're really not long enough. They're only maximum 48s, but um, I still have to pick up some 53s. But they work good for anything from 40, 45, 48. I'm blessing. Good morning. Jerry, what concert was that? Seeing them about 7 times. Last one was in Toledo with a new singer. They changed. And this is just like a generic shirt. It says 1980 on it. It's from their Departure album. Um, I saw them. The last time I saw them was Steve Perry was I think 87ish when they came out with their Raised on Radio album, and then we went to see them maybe 5 years roughly ago with the latest singer that's with them. They were in concert with oh shoot, was it? I want to say Jimmy Buffett, but I don't think it was Jimmy Buffett. Sticks. No, it was one of those shows where they had Journey was the main attraction, but it was like two or three of the old groups, and they kind of these days they kind of all have to band together in order to have enough to attract a large enough crowd, I guess, for the venue. But just all us old farts going to that stuff nowadays. But Steve Perry actually had some stuff out. He did like a Christmas album and stuff this last year. It was pretty good. You know, you don't sound like young Steve Perry, but who the hell does? You know, I've never been a big fan of all the replacements. I'm kind of a purist. But then actually, Steve Perry wasn't an original either. So, all right, these damn wheels. One thing I will say about these Walters container kits is these are actually rubber wheels on there, not plastic. So it's kind of cool. Rails, how are you? Buckscar Jerry, what's going on, buddy? So, They're not bad little kits though. Like I said last week, I made the mistake. I tried to paint them first, which is normally would be okay, but just because I use gloss paint, because that's what I had. I usually paint with gloss. But, like, the glue just makes it bubble up and get all sticky, and I don't know, it's a pain in the ass. So I've been like having to sand everything down. There we go. Get in there to make it fit right. A nice little 20-foot trailer. They could make these need less assembly and it would be better, but that's all right. What the hell are you gonna do? Roughly $10 and getting 2 trailers out of it. There we go. Now you're on there. All right. So I'm in a railway enthusiast. How's it going? Digger Evans, how are you? Brew rail. All right. So yeah, we'll see how I feel later, but I'm hoping this sculptum will be dry enough to in there. Maybe do some painting. I'm gonna color the rock, color the riverbed. So I can start thinking about putting in some of the epoxy and get that going. Wilmer, where's he at? I thought I saw him. A nice little purchase I got off of like Amazon or something. I can't remember what I paid for it. Probably less than $10. It's like a drill bit set with a little drill. Well, I'm pointing down there, but and bag. It's got a little baggie with different drill bit sizes in there. Quite a few of them. And came from China, of course, like every damn thing. But it's really nice because some of these are really fine, and it's great for this kind of stuff that we work on. So, that'd be a good topic for one of my next Track Tuesdays or something. Is just what kind of essentials we're going to talk about it now. What kind of essentials you guys like to have on your workbench, or do you feel is like essential for the workbench? Because that was something that kind of got me in the beginning. Was just how much stuff that you don't realize that you kind of do need to have. Files, things like that, sanding sticks, files, different glues and paints, and like your normal tools that you use around the house are sometimes too big for what we do, or too strong for what we do, and it just breaks things. So you kind of have to have stuff that's a little more specialized to model building. And you obviously you could get it little by little. Kind of going back to the comments, see if I missed anything. Please be here. Hey, good. I said hi to everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. Good morning. Anyhow. Good morning, anyhow. Wilmer, how is the station build going for Robert? The Flying Crow. I still got another trailer to build. Be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the 6th. This is the 5th. This will be the 6th one. I built over like the last week or so. I think that's all the ones I had. 3 boxes. They come 2 in a box. Hey, Marty? Morning. So I'll need them all once I get the intermodal going. That's another reason I want to try to get up to the 2nd level. So So, over the summer, I'll probably slowly, as hopefully, prices don't get any worse on lumber. They were coming all down, and now they're back up again. Uh, it's going slow. That's okay. It's all right. I want to rush it and mess it up. Do it when you have spare time. I don't think Robert's in a huge rush for it, anyways. I'm sure he gave you more than enough time. So. But I don't have much today, guys. Just one of those mornings. Nothing really going on. Woo-hoo. Sucks because it's too cold to really do any kind of stuff outside, so I'm probably gonna tinker around down here today. Hey Lee, how are you? Infield Road in the loft. Railroad in the loft. Yeah, even Simon agrees. He agrees with me, Wilmer. Take your time, do it right. No rush. That's when we make mistakes, when we try to rush things. There's a difference between procrastination and taking your time, reasonable time with something. As you guys know, I like trucks. Somewhere around here, where I don't remember where I put it, I have a trailer for Burlington Motor Carriers, which is the first company I drove for with my dad when we were running together over the road. I first started out, we ran as a team. He owned his own truck, but we leased onto them, pulled their freight. So a couple years back, I picked up a trailer because I'd never seen it before, and I've seen it in several places now. But so I have that one, and my dad, for the last 10 years of his life, drove for Transport America. So it's a trucks and stuff. So I picked that up, just a dry van. One thing I don't like about them, and I can't necessarily show you now. I probably can. Their pin that goes into the fifth wheel, the pin. I don't know if you can see it there. It has a like a round circle on the end of it, and it's a bear to get out of here. So next one of these I get, I'll do a video on it. What you do is you got to take these apart, trailer apart. So you got to pop the legs off carefully. There's a screw underneath the legs, dolly legs. And you got to take, this comes off here. Let me just show you. To give you something to do, I'll show you. I don't know how close I can get in. You take a screwdriver real careful, get underneath here, and the dolly legs pop off like that. I get some light on the subject, maybe you can see the holes there. And then there's a hole in the middle. There's a screw in there. And the same thing in the back. This just pries up on both sides. So gently. You want to break it, of course. And it all comes apart as they're separate, but it's, looks like that. And that opens up there, and you can see another hole. And you got to take a Phillips screwdriver, unscrew the screws. I didn't realize this at first. I actually had to really examine this to figure this out. I couldn't figure out how it wouldn't pry off easily. So I was like, what the heck's going on here? So there you go. There you go. There's the base, and then the inside you have a little post that those screw into. Now, if you can see, I flipped it over. See the little round circle, the silver circle up here at the top? Well, that was underneath. So that slides into this fifth wheel on a truck. I don't know if you can see any of this stuff. It's super hard to get out, and it's annoying. So on the underside here, there's a little tiny plastic post that thing screws into from the bottom. So this is backwards now. The skinny part was at the top and the fat round head was at the bottom. So I took my little screw cutter and I cut that piece flush. It's on the inside here. I just flipped it over, drilled the hole big enough for this post to go through. A little touch of super glue there. And it hangs down far enough and it sits in there. It moves a little bit, but it catches, you know what I mean? And then you could undo it nice and easy. So I'll do it for real next time I get another one of these trucks. This is from Trucks and Stuff. They're nice. They're nice. I like them. They're not the most detailed. Some of the parts are a little chunky. But it's 1/87 scale, and they're detailed plenty enough for my likings. And most of the time you could get them anywhere from 12. I think this one was about 15. Of course, you know, you're paying shipping depending where you buy it from. But not too bad when you're trying to build a truck fleet. So what am I missing here? Morning. Are we saying good morning? Okay. Evans Model Railway. Sorry, I missed you. How's the layout bigger? Doing okay. Thanks, Simon. Just on with doing some detailing on the bridges. Please working on the layout, cleaning track. That's always fun. Simon wants to know if any special cleaner. Lee says he uses just IPA. Yeah, thanks, Sherry. Yeah, you know, I thought about it last night. I was in a sour mood last night. I don't know why. And I just came down here and I did this. I got this in the mail, so I came down here and did this and started putting that thing together. I just didn't feel like. Yeah, I said hi to my family and went downstairs. Came down here. I just didn't feel like dealing with anything. I don't know why. Sometimes you just get in a mood and you don't even know what the hell you're in the mood for, and it's hard to shake it. So instead of doing dumb things and causing a fight for no apparent reason, because I could tend to do that from time to time. I want to be a little grumpy pants. So then this just goes right back on. Yeah, next time I pick one of these up, I'll definitely do that, because I'm sure I'll be buying more. And then the way these things are keyed, there's only one way to put them in. So don't force them, because you can bend the, don't ask me how I know, but you can end up bending the landing gear if you're not careful enough. Come on, don't be like that. And tell me it was in one way and I put it in the wrong way. There we go. It just snaps back in. And voila, that's French. You have yourself a trailer with a nice easy pin. I have tried to carve this out a little bit, widen this, and I don't know if you have to get it just right, because the one of them I did it too much, and then the trailer just comes right off. So like if you wanted to play and actually drive them around, the trailer wouldn't stay intact. And I was just trying to find a better way, and this was my solution. There you go. Now you know all my secrets. No special mug today. Just my generic cups. Actual house for me today. And out of the way. All right, John. Thank you for stopping in. I always appreciate that. Have a nice day at work. Hope it's not too busy for you or too crazy. What are you guys working on? Anything today? What about you, Joe? What you got going on today? You're always tinkering around. Are you planting all your trees? Hey, and you said that those Walters Company houses come in packs of two, right? There's two in there. Are those able to be built in different ways, or is there just one way to build them? Because that wouldn't be a bad thing. Like if you had a neighborhood you were trying to build, and of course I guess you could put one here and then one later on, because I don't know. At least most neighborhoods I've ever known, they have 3, 4, 5 models, if you will, that are all repetitive going down the street. I think my street's the same damn house with just a different dormer on the front. James says we have 5 viewings of our house booked today at 7. Oh, good. Any bites so far? Or it's too early? Second coat of primer on the engine. Both kits are the same. Okay, Joe. Morning, James. It's gonna look nice, that locomotive. See, now I like the high hoods and I don't. For me, it's too old of an era for what I'm modeling. Leaves cleaning track. Jerry says he likes the company houses. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Especially the way I like how you modified yours, Joe, with the one, anyways, with the regular shingles instead of just the tar paper. Offers open up Monday. Okay, so showing it this week and then starting Monday, they can people can put in offers. Is that what that means? Jerry, I think he is doing that high hood that he showed in his video, the black locomotive for Black Rock Central. Joe, did you ever find out what that was? It's a GP38? You weren't sure exactly. Jim says houses are like selling hotcakes. 38 will be the newest unit on the Black Rock Central. Okay. Cool. The only one I have painted up for me so far is a GP7 for my scheme. I gotta find that thing. It's in a box somewhere. Everything's in a box somewhere, except for all the other junk that's laying around. That's fine. Still haven't heard anything from NCE back on my system. I think I'll give them this week. If I don't hear anything by Tuesday, I'll call them after. Yeah, I'm off Tuesday, so I'll call them on Tuesday. Hey, Gary, and see if there's any update. I think the website says don't call, see if we got your product, but I believe they got it on the 11th, if I remember right, because I had tracking on it and stuff. So they got the SP5 on the 11th, and then I mailed out a few days later power cab to be converted over to a Wi-Fi or wireless cab, and that was, I think I delivered on 19th or something. So GP42's Canadian National on order at Gen. Okay. I do want to get like a GP40, GP42-2 to decorate up in my CR&E paint. It could be just like DCC ready. I'll add a decoder. I mean, if I find one at a good price, it's already there, and I like the decoder that's in it, then I'll go with it. I was a little disappointed. I called Scale Trains, and these operator ESU like basic essential sound or whatever they call them, they say you cannot add a keep alive. It will not support a keep alive. Greetings, hey Tom. Debbie has a morning doctor appointment here for a bit. Okay. Well, appreciate you stopping in. Spend some time with us. CR&E does have locos. It has one so far and a dummy. Stand by. I think I know what box it's in. I'll show you. It's in some of my videos and stuff. Right. Box. Just saw it the other day. It is the Bachmann DCC, no sound. And I did a terrible job of weathering it. So don't judge me too bad on that. And those are my early attempts at weathering, early attempts at painting. It's just that's my old logo, my original logo. I've updated the logo since then. It's kind of based off of the C&O Progress logo. So it's just, nothing fancy on top. But it's kind of almost it looks a little bit like the Rock Island colors. Rock colors. I don't know if that's the bankruptcy scheme the guys call it. Looks like I gotta fix my handrail here. I picked this thing up new, and it's some damage to it. Just working on it. I did manage to put a couple guys in there when I had it open and apart. A conductor and a engineer, one on each side. I did some more work on it, but I feel like it's just too old for being modern era. I mean, it's a GP7. This was originally a Pennsylvania unit. Sorry, Wilmer. It was 8805 Pennsylvania Railroad. It was all black. It said Pennsylvania on it. So stripped it down, painted it. My buddy Justin helped me do that. Gooseland. But it does have, it looks like a spot or a speaker in there. A round speaker, I don't know. So I might put sound in it eventually. It's a good little loco. These Bachmanns aren't the most powerful units, but I mean, it's good enough for switching out a yard, We'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep it, obviously. I mean, it's my first. Never had a Bachmann DCC and sound from the factory. Does anybody have any of those? What do you think of? Well, guys, Bachmann got kind of a bad name. I have a couple of F7s that are Bachmann that were DCC ready, just the 8-pin decoders in them. So I put a couple of just the Digitrax, like the 123s or 6s, whatever they are. I put a couple of those in there, and they run good. They're nice little locomotives. But that's the only one. Well, I take that back. Joe Tracy did a dummy engine like that. I think he did it with I don't know where it's at. He might have the new logo on that one though, but it's strictly a dummy. gave that to me as a gift to go and run with it. Let's see, Buckman. I do Buckman DCC and so. What do you think of them, James? Hey, Rick. Good morning. Up and say, hey, thank you for stopping. I appreciate it. Buckman DCCFA. It's garbage. Okay. All right, as I'm saying, I have that one. When I first got back in, like that Pennsylvania one, I think cost me, that had sound in it, maybe 50 to 60. Now, don't quote me on that. I might have bought that off somebody online too. But it seemed like it was new. I bought the two F7s brand new, DCC ready, and they were 40 a piece, I think, 35 or 40. And we're going back to 2016. I got those for Christmas 2016 because I started building in 2017. But in like mid 2016 is when I was starting to plan things out and figure out how I was going to get the basement figured out. And I was working on selling a pool table that was down here, which gave me the startup money. So I got a nice penny for an old pool table, man. It was nice. I mean, what I needed to buy all the lumber, paint, things like that to get started with. Buy my first batches of track and switches and stuff too. So the pool table, which was just kind of in the way, ended up, being what got this railroad started. Well, the old railroad, first version. Yeah, I mean, these run good. I like them. They're quiet, not like my Athearn, old Athearn blue boxes I had. I sold those, and I have an Athearn ready to roll. Like to me, it reminds me of the first version after the blue boxes, but it's just about as loud as the blue box. I gotta tell you. FA's DCC and sound and is far superior to the Buckman. Yeah. Wasn't Walther's Proto, or they bought Proto? I mean, maybe that one isn't, because I know they have like mainline. Anybody have Walther's mainline? I've seen some decent Walther's mainline. Hey, Jeff, the railroad enthusiast. Good morning. Q421. I'll have to go back and check that out. When did you post that, Jerry? And the other night I watched back my On Track Tuesday. My wife and kids laugh at me, but I like to watch back the show just to try to, number one, here, the sound quality I've been having issues with. I think it's a little bit better than it was. I like to watch the show back, number one, to see the comments and be able to address things in the comments. And then also just see, was the camera positioning okay, lighting, things like that, just to try to do better, Plus, I'm entertaining. I like to watch myself. Not really. Now I can't think of why I brought that up. Son of a basket. Looking old. It'll come to me. We have Walther's mainline. I see them DCC and sound. I see them new and decent prices. I'm just curious if anybody has them or likes them. And I'm thinking about maybe picking one or two up eventually down the road. So if I could find one of those, especially, ideally I like to find something that's a good price. It's at least DCC ready. It's undecorated, because then I don't have to worry about stripping it down and everything else. Because I want to find one or two to switch out, because I have the Crooked River Co-op, which will be serviced by the Crooked River and Eastern Railroad. Two separate entities, separate but together, I guess. I have the Crooked River and Eastern yard that's going to have my locos obviously switching it. So like the CSX will come into that yard, drop what it has to, pick up what it has to, and go on its way. And then the local CR&E will switch. The yard build trains, break trains, rail run a local, or CSX might run a local, like over to the co-op or other industries. Like the CR&E will run to the co-op most likely, and then the CSX will have its own local that will run around to some of the other businesses too. Train Freak. Somebody says good morning to the Train Freak. Maybe I missed him in here. There he is. What did you miss? No, I was just showing off. Somebody was asking me if I have any locomotives. Jerry asked me if I have any locomotives for the Crooked River and Eastern. As we were talking about Joe just getting a GP38 high hood that he is stripping down for the Black Rock Central and repainting. So, all right, James, take it easy, buddy. Good luck with the house sales and viewings and everything. House viewings, and hopefully, hope you get a lot of offers. So that's all, Jason. And that locomotive I was showing is a Bachmann. It had factory DCC in it. I was just asking what guys thought about the Bachmanns, if they had them. Duncan, I did not. This is just home brew. Maxwell House. Sorry, guys. No donuts this morning. Wife says I need to lose a few pounds. No, I'm just kidding. Not that I could stand to lose a few pounds, but she didn't say that. John Benicki. John B. I miss him. I didn't say hi to you personally, guys. There it is, John Benicki. Hi, good morning. If I didn't say hi, don't be offended. I might have missed you in the chat, but hello to everybody that's just popping in and things like that. So, what's your opinion on them then? Good for the products. I mean, for the, I used to love Mountain Dew, man. I don't drink pop anymore. I gave up carbonation 2015 or something. Quit drinking alcohol, quit drinking carbonated stuff. Just a choice. I drink a shit ton of coffee. Well, I always did anyways, but I drink a lot of coffee. I like iced teas. Could have gotten into these, this is from Aldi's. This pure aqua fruit water. This is a raspberry. Not too bad. Too bad at all. And I do like, just, that's like a Crystal Light iced tea kind of thing. I like iced tea. I don't like hot tea, but I like iced tea. I don't know what the difference. The taste is a little different when it's hot. Smells good. Anyways. But yeah, I like the Bachmanns. I got two F7s. Like I said, they were DCC ready. I just put Digitracks in them, non-sound. That we installed sound in at my Soundtracks factory training seminar was a Bachmann F7 and a 460 steamer. Okay. My buddy Justin from Gooseland has the Bachmann with sound, the nickel plate 760. It wasn't a 65, it was a 68 or something like that, but it was the same as the 65, the Berkshire that they run. That might have been 765 actually. I think it was. Either way, nice locomotive. It was a video back in. Yeah, I like the sweet tea too. Usually I order the sweet tea when I go out if they have it. Otherwise, I just do the others and had like Splenda or Sweet and Low. The problems Bachmann, they are as detailed as scale trains at Athearn, ready to run or higher. Yeah. Especially when I got back into it, I was looking at just starting in DCC, so I needed everything. So I just picked up a couple of locomotives. I think the F7s were like I was saying earlier, about $40, $45. And I think I got this DCC on board. Take it back. I think this was about 58 or 60. Because I was able to talk the wife into it for that because it was a really good price. So I'm going to run those F7s. I'm going to do like an ABBA unit for a excursion train. I have some, they're Baltimore, Ohio's. And I have the two B units are dummies, but they're all blue box dummies. So they're okay together. Again, there's a video. If you go back in my videos, there's some videos of it running. I got some old heavyweights on it, but I'll add some other cars to it. Actually bought a set of cars. They need some work though. I didn't realize how much work they needed when I bought them. I got a great price on them, but that's why. So I might actually paint a couple of those for the Crooked River and Eastern. So okay, yeah, so I'll go check that out too. Jason says you go way back when he first created his channel, he did a slideshow and changing his F7s from Southern Pacific to Cotton Belt. Oh, Bachman. And a 70 tonner he has as well. Somebody brought up Walthers. I don't remember who it was now. Because I've seen some. I think I missed something. Walthers like mainline. Train line too, but mainline. I like the mainline freight cars a lot. For me, they're detailed enough. And they're priced really well considering the prices of things today. You know, anywhere from $20 to $30, and you get metal wheels, metal couplers on. The Athearn makes me nuts. I love the Genesis. They're detailed as hell. They sound great. The sound tracks in them, or the Tsunami, awesome. Oh, throw some metal couplers on them. The stupid plastic McHenrys, terrible. $300 locomotive. You can't give me metal couplers, you jerks. Same thing with their freight cars. Well, there's mainline, you get metal couplers. I don't know what brand it is, but they work well with KDs. They're metal. I don't change them out. I change everything to KDs that's not metal. And well, the Protos are a step above the mainline. I disagree. I don't find the mainline to be junk. The Proto is definitely a step above the mainline. Train line, maybe you're thinking, I think is a step below the main line. So it's like train line, main line, Proto, I think. Don't quote me. Don't have any train line. So I can't attest to that. I'm thinking the train line is more along the Bachmann Tyco type quality, the way things are molded and stuff. Now the main line has got a lot of molded on parts, you know, like your ladders and that. They're a little bit chunky. But for me, I think they're really nice cars. Let me show you what I got here. Got one right here. A couple of things right here I can show you. So, this is one of their 60-foot high cubes. I bought these all last summer. I think they've done another run of them too. See how close I could get in there. So now the ladders on the side, on the ends are definitely not good. Those are chunky. But if you look at the doors are. They look. It's hard to tell, but the door like rods and stuff are separately applied. The plastic are separate. Metal wheels, a little bit of bottom detailing on them. Get it in the camera. Goes with their metal wheels. Not bad at all. And metal couplers. Detailing's nice. Nice and solid, heavy car. Yeah, you're probably thinking of a train line. And then this is a 2-bay hopper. Same thing. Now these ladders aren't quite as chunky as they are on focus on the box car there, but metal wheels, metal couplers, some detailing, not much on the bottom, but most of them don't have much. You know, it's not American Limited for sure, or Athearn Genesis, but these cars are generally about 22, 25, somewhere in that range. And they had some issues with the one run they did last summer or last winter. The wheels were the wrong size. I emailed them. They sent me how many did you buy? How many do you have? They sent me enough to replace all the wheels on every one that I had bought in that run. If you go back to Derek Glass's channel, DG Model Works, he did a video on it as well. I did a follow-up just to reiterate that Walthers does stand behind it. They did replace it and made it right. So there you go. But I really like these. And honestly, they're a nice weight. These were, I think, Lombard Hobbies. I got these for 20 at the time. Now, this was like a year or so ago. They were at Lombard on sale. I guess maybe it wasn't sale. They were selling them for like $21.99, I believe. So couldn't pass them up. Probably have too many of them. I got a bunch of these rail box, a couple CNs, Canadian Nationals, a couple other ones, just for variety. I buy stuff just for variety. Sometimes I just like the color of something. And if it's in my era, I don't care if it's in, whatever road name, if I like it. I like your walkways on these. They have detailing. This camera is not picking it up great, but they are plastic. They're not metal. You get into your higher end stuff, like your Proto probably has metal. Like your Genesis stuff has metal. But, Bachman box cars. I got the set. Go. Nowhere now. He is no longer here with us. I'm lost. Bachman box cars. Got the set. Somerset Andy. Oh, I see somebody that you got him as he passed away or something, and you got some of his stuff. My air whistle under my layout and sounded off when I'm wearing my layout. Make it sound real. All right, back to that. Joe's has 2 mainline units for sound, and you like them. Okay. So like I said, I'm not concerned with, like, for my CR&E stuff right now. I'm okay with getting something that doesn't have a ton of details because I'm going to have to strip it down, paint it. So I'm okay with that. If I'm going to buy something, I do like the details. Don't get me wrong. Like with the rivet counters and the Athearn Genesis. I'm going to spend that kind of money on something. I want the details. I want it to be. Because that's part of the reason I'm spending that much money on something. Yeah, that's okay. We got it. I still love you, man. Still love you. But yeah, Train Line, I think, is the lowest end on the Walthers freight car. I think they make locomotives too on the Spectrum. So Walthers took too fast. One being they went with ESU, and the other is they don't make logos. I'm finding more from Atlas. Atlas is good too. Atlas has a lot of older era stuff. I think that. See, and I had one too. I got rid of that RS3, an Alco. And I was really looking forward to making that into. It was painted for L&N, Louisville, Nashville. I was going to strip it and paint it for Crooked River and Eastern. Then I got it in my head, it's just too old. It wouldn't be realistic. There's no way they'd be running an RS3 now in any kind of yard, even a short line, or So I sold it. And I wish I didn't. Something to be said for those old Alcos, man. They just got that throaty sound to them. I kind of like them. I should have kept the damn thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll get one eventually again. Oh, there's proto cars. How much are those? I don't know. I think it depends on what kind of car you're buying, of course. Hey, Nathan DeLay, how are you? I don't know, what do you say, Jason, on the cost of the protos? I'm going to say they're up there like with the Genesis, Athearn Genesis. So something like just say a regular, this is a 2-bay hopper, say a regular 4-bay grain hopper. I've seen the Walthers mainline ones. In fact, I just got one. ADM. That main line was at, we shit all over the place, man. I get these notifications, model train stuff. Maybe I keep getting notifications from that 10% off freight cars, 10% off locomotives. You know, this weekend only, and they suck me right in, man. I got more freight cars than I'll ever use now. I need to go through my stuff and sell some of it. But it was, I think it was on special for $20 or something like that, and I got the 10% off. By the time I added shipping, I was probably up to 30, you know, because shipping always gets you. But that same car in a Genesis would start out around $38-40, somewhere in that range. Where the Walters one is usually around 25, 27, the main line. So the Proto is usually probably about $5 to $10 more, probably about $10 more than the main line, just because it has more detailing, you know, more metal detailing, stuff like that, brake line stuff, you know. So I do have a few cars here and there that are like rivet counter or Genesis type quality. Those I would say would be better. Listen, if you're just running the train around, you're doing a video, you're shooting a video, nobody's paying that close of attention to little tiny brake lines and stuff, in my opinion. If I was going to be building dioramas and doing like real close shots and trying to get the absolute 100% to make it look like you can't even tell that it's a model, it's real, okay, I understand that. Then you want to get something that you've either modified yourself and added all those parts to, or you bought it out of the box like that, weathered it up, did whatever for those shots. I have posted a few shots of the couple of cars I've done some graffiti and weathering on. They're not the most detailed cars. One's it was a kit. No, I think it was like, it might have been a Walters mainline, actually. It was a 50-foot rail box that I weathered up. And then I did also an auto rack. And it was the old kit, Walters kit car, auto rack. So, you know, not the best details, but Atlas couplers, like their crappy plastic stuff too. Yeah, see, I like those. I'm not sure I know what the RSD5 looks like. I'm probably seeing it on your channel. RS3s I like the look of. RS1 I think is just an earlier version of that. But I have a couple of, several Atlas like silver that were ECC ready, and just have whatever, or they had, did they have DCC in them already? But there's no sound in them. A couple of GP38 Chesapeake and Ohio. I have those, and then I have some U-30s, U-boats. A couple of those, one's a Chessie, one's a Chesapeake and Ohio. So I did keep some of my older era stuff, guys. I still like Chessie System, Ultimate Ohio, Chesapeake and Ohio, all the fallen flags. I did sell off. Man, I kind of regret it too, but the guy's a good guy. Doug, what's his last name? He's a big Western Maryland guy. But I had two GP35. I think they were the chop noses. And that circus paint, that red, white, and black paint. Man, he just made me an offer, and I was converting over to modern, and I got the bug to sell, and I was trying to get money together to buy the more modern stuff, and he made me an offer. I just hemmed and hawed, but I've dealt with him in the past. He's a really good guy. He's done videos with him. He's given me kudos and credit. Hey, I got these off of Dave Crooked River. Thanks so much, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So just a good guy all in all. And I'm damned if I remember his last name. Super nice guy. He'll run a lot on that Steve Johnson's layout. He does the Union Railroad switching layout. Well, it's not. He does. It's a steel layout. He's on. I don't know if he has a channel. I think he has a YouTube channel too. But I know I see a lot of. He has a Facebook group. I feel like I'm just rambling on and on. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys will do that, Nathan. They'll go ahead and paint it up, find the right locomotive, and they'll paint it up the scheme that they want, and either buy decals or hand paint or whatever. And yeah, absolutely. I don't know what's on the Atlas Gold. I don't know what kind of couplers they use. I know these Cato 53-foot well, 3-car well sets that I bought recently. I don't like their couplers either. They're weird plastic, and like when you take them out, they're like the two piece. They're like the two pieces. They go together, and they're supposed to. I mean, they look like a knuckle coupler, but they're not like spring, like your usual spring KV looking coupler, or even like the McHenry's. Only reason I say that about McHenry's is this: it's a plastic coupler, and I think for the money you pay for these things, damn, they can't throw in a damn set of metal couplers. Even scale trains with the crap that they run, I can't stand their couplers. At least on the rivet counters, they're metal. So, I mean, at least there's that. I agree. And as a lot of you guys know, I like to run long trains. I've done videos of 50 car grain train not that long ago, last year. And scale can keep plastic. I don't know how you guys do it in N scale. You guys have some weird couplers in N scale. And it's becoming more popular, I believe, as a choice. I mean, I got to say it's right behind HO scale, and I think there's more and more products being offered. I think the demand has been noted, and these companies are kind of stepping up, at least more than what I've heard in the past. I could be wrong. You N scalers have to jump in and let me know. But and I think that's great. I know O scale isn't. You got to have so much room for O scale to really make a layout. So I know, yeah, I agree. The hey Bernard, how you doing? Trains are so long compared to the. Well, I don't know if that has to do with. I'm jumping around here. I don't know if that has to do with just the way things are built here. I feel like we're maybe more open, and we can. I don't know why. I'd be lying to you. I'm just spitballing there. But Jason, I do agree. I think it is catching up to HO in a lot of ways. These companies are all making the decoders smaller to fit in these things. Yeah, dude, you and me both. This was N scale. Holy crap. Yeah, I really have an empire there. If you're talking to me, Nathan, I have not done anything in my logo. I've only done that one GP7. I've done a bunch of green cars. I've done a couple box cars. I think the giveaway I had, contest giveaway I had for my 1,500 subscribers, I had a HO boxcar and I did an N scale boxcar. That was fun. Thanks, Joe Geraci, for making all those decals for me. Joe G. That again, I give the N scale guys a lot of credit. I don't have the patience for that. My fingers are too big, I think. My eyes are not as good as they once were. Not that they're bad, but I mean, I don't have the patience for it. Just, need heritage steamer. This game will cost more in the long run per space you have because the cost is much different than HO and you're getting roughly double the space. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's because it's less expensive by any means, yeah. Warren looks so great under why is our junk. Yeah, that's one of the first things I did is I had some old cars in that and I ended up selling them all off mostly. I have one or two still hanging out around here, but I changed all those couplers over. If you do a few at a time, if you can afford to buy the bulk packs, where you get 50 pairs, they're expensive up front, but in the long run, it's cheaper to buy the bulk packs. Same thing with all the plastic wheels. As long as they're good metal wheels, like I don't change out the Walthers metal wheels. I don't change out the Scale Trains metal wheels. If they're metal wheels, I don't generally change the metal wheels out. Anything I have that's plastic, any kits that I buy that are plastic wheels, I put the Intermountain wheels on. I like Intermountain. But Walthers has some good ones too. But I just decided anything I change out, I'm trying to stay uniform with. Being couplers, I use the 148s on everything. Yeah, I know they're not scale heads. Oh well. That's what I got. That's what I started with. I'm going to basically stay with. At this point, it would cost me a fortune to change everything out. So, yes, and I guess yes and no. Mostly yes. You're kind of paying for the quality. You're paying for the details. Um, those type of things. If you're buying the stuff that's more detailed and more um, the higher line, like Genesis would be the higher Athearn line. Rivet Counter is a higher Scale Train line. Atlas Gold is their higher line. So you're paying for that extra detail and everything of that nature, and better decoder and all that kind of stuff. What I think they need to do is, okay, we were talking about Walthers Train line, which is probably their cheapest. I think that is their cheapest line for Walthers, which is it's great. Like the Operator series from Scale Trains, and Athearn has. Athearn's lower? Ready to Roll. They have something else too. There's the Ready to Roll, and there's another one. I don't know what their lower. I say lower end. It's their more economical, probably less detail type stuff. Stack train here. There's loaded with Schneider, Amazon, and Swift containers. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You probably paid anywhere from $75 to $100 for those 100 wheels. But here again, in the long run, if you're going to buy packs of 12 and whatever, it's going to cost you way more. So it just depends where you get it from. You can find some halfway decent deals here and there, considering how many you're getting. I wish I had a local shop that I could get stuff from. I usually end up ordering off online from one of the online shops or eBay. Oh, Roundhouse. Okay, thanks, Randall. I knew they had one lower than it was Roundhouse, and was it Ready to Roll, and then it goes up to Genesis. Lumber. Had them on sale for. They still have them on sale. I could use some wheels, model wheels. Or is that what? and going back through. Dave needs a steamer. Yeah, I'm thinking about. Um, we'll see. Like I said, eventually I'd like to run an excursion. Um, so when am I getting a steam? I'll probably go with like that nickel plate one because I've ridden that 765. I don't want a big boy, anything like that. Just the big boy's awesome, but just not. Um, yeah. Well, I've been seeing them for like 80, 90, somewhere in that range, and then you got to pay shipping. So if you got them for that, you know, out the door, that's a good price for 100 wheels. Prices are regulated by people that buy them. Stop buying them, prices will come down. In theory, eventually. Good luck getting people to stop buying them. I said I'd never spend that kind of money on a locomotive too. And sure as shit I am. Big dummy. It's your area. Yeah. Well, that nickel plate, that Berkshire wood, anything that maybe I could find that I'd have to research what the B&O would have ran. Um, the nickel plate 765, I think, is a part of the Indiana Heritage Historical Society or whatever. Because they'll run it up here once during the summer and do excursions on the Cuyahoga Valley line. So yeah, well, things don't change. That ain't gonna be coming up anytime soon. Value of the dollar. What I mean, how you gonna do? We're just working schlubs, man. That's all we can do is keep going to work and trying to do what we can do. We pay for everything else. So if you're going to have a hobby, you got to know that's got to be expendable money. So when the value of the dollar goes down, you have less. Is that what am I using the right word? Expendable money you can afford to spend on um, hobbies and other frivolous things. Bernard said the big boy canceled the run through here. Oh, that sucks. I would like to go see it. I'd like to go chase it. That'd be fun. A summer trip. Problem is that I don't know if the wife would be up for that. I need to do is get a couple guys that want to take a rail fanning trip for a long weekend or something or a week and go do that kind of stuff and trying to get people together to do it and the time to do it is another story. Prices might be good, but the product might be good. I always check my product from used train shows and make sure it runs. Be careful is better than being ripped off. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch what you buy at these train shows. I mean, you see tables and tables of old locomotives, and it's like I don't even know what to do with that. If it didn't work, I could do some things, but if I got to put as much money into it as I spent on it, or more, then it's not worth it. Not worth it. About these couple of operators, and I could run them as is. They're DCC and sound. It's had essential lock sound. Scale trains. I just wanted to upgrade them, but it's going to end up being what I'm going to end up having to do, like a decoder buddy in it board. I'll just leave these two as is, and I'll use the two Tsunami 2s I bought in something else. But okay, Wilmer, thanks for stopping in, buddy. I'm going to yeah. Well, once in a while, and that's good. That's a good point. Some of the dealers are smart. and they've gotten smart, where they team up with another dealer and they will have a test track that you can test the locomotive on. That RS3 I was talking about earlier, I bought a couple of locomotives from the same guy, and he had a test track, and they were new used product, new old stock, I guess, new old stock is how you would word it. So anyhow, I went ahead and he let me, or he offered, and I asked, and he agreed, and we put them on the track, and they were both DC. I had to convert, and they ran great. So it is smart. Yeah, you just gotta find out where it's at. It depends on your dealer, your seller. Building a demo layout to display the LCC stuff and signals I'm selling. Display the LCC stuff. Are you selling that stuff? I thought you were going with LCC. Oh, you have other signals you're selling. No, never mind. I actually thought about, renting a table and taking a bunch of my stuff that I want to sell. In one of these shows coming up, maybe in the fall, see how much it costs. Just because it's such a pain in the ass to list everything and then deal with everybody that are kicking the tires, and then you got to deal with shipping it, so you got to deal with shipping costs and haggling with shipping costs. Then you're trying to ship it and it don't get damaged, and you have people coming back. And I didn't know that, Jason. If I did, I didn't remember. That's cool. Black bag in the background. Oh, hanging on the wall. That's a blanket that I have hanging over the open doorway into the furnace room, Jeff, to try to cut some of the sound down when the furnace kicks on while I'm on live. The command control does not replace DCC. Yeah, you can see it's a blanket, Jeff. If that's what you're talking about. I don't know if it helps or not. Above my head, you could kind of see it right there, and there is this big ass ductwork that goes down the middle of the house, and then everything branches off of it. It's just high enough where I don't hit my head on it. I'm like 6'1", so it's just high enough. So I would love to have a heating and air conditioning guy come out and see if some of that can be rerouted or, made smaller. It's deep, probably original to the house, and it's all over the damn place. Problem is, I'd probably have to fix the ceiling then too, and replace some of the ceiling. I don't know if the rafters run this way, the floor joists run that way, and it runs this way. So I can't really tuck them up in there, but I can maybe get something a little more streamlined. The furnace is kicking on now, so you can kind of hear it. I'm sure you can hear it. With that ductwork being above my head, I can't even really insulate it that much because it's seriously, like, if I was to kind of lift up a little bit like that on my tippy toes or whatever, I would touch the bottom of it. So this house I have 9-foot high basement preferred with trusses, no posts. Yeah, I do have one post in the middle of this room. It's right here to my right. And it's kind of limited the way I was able to design the layout in a way. But I was able to, it's in the middle of an aisle. I was able to keep out. The aisle itself is nice and wide, so it's down the middle. So each side of the aisle has, like, one side's a little bit narrower, like 18 or 20 inches. The other side's, I don't know, 22 or something like that. But it's a little 3-inch post that holds up the beam. So, I mean, it's easy to kind of just turn briefly sideways and get past it if you had to, or you can walk straight by it most of the time. But if you had to, you wanted to turn, so you could easily get two people through. I made the aisles wide enough. All my aisles are like 30 inches. That's my narrowest. And that's the only pinch point I really have is where that post is. Jerry should do a live stream on his layout. Yeah, I'll be up for that. Yeah, but it wasn't going to work out. The way this layout is in this basement is anybody else, any other like track planners and stuff like that that I talk to, I think yourself included, Jason. Because you guys didn't know it, Jason does track plans. So if you need a track plan or have issues with your track plan or need maybe some redesign or something, uh, get him over to the Train Freak. He's really good at it. He did some redesigning on mine and definitely helped out operations and stuff and the way that it's going to work. So I didn't need him to redesign the layout. I just needed some tweaking of some things, and he helped me out with that, and it was very reasonable. So hit him up if you need some help with your track plan. But anyways, several guys that kind of I talked to the track planning, that are track planners and stuff. They all agree this is probably the best way to fit this in the basement. I could have pulled some room out of the laundry, some space out of the laundry room or the furnace room. Then I could have probably done a helix. I could have done a helix. I take that back, but it would have been tight, like a small, like I would have had maybe it'd have been hard to get like a 5x5 spot. It might have been 4x4, and that's really tight. And I do run just long enough trains, train cars, and trains that I just felt like it was going to be a problem. So I ended up doing a climb, which should work. In testing, it worked. I haven't actually got the second level up and running, so I don't know how well it's going to actually go up and down, if I'm going to have issues or not. So we'll find that out eventually. So I was actually trying to think of a way that I could change things in this do a damn helix and let it be a little tight and just live with it. But at this point, I don't really have the energy to change it up. Well, we'll see. Daryl Dayton, how are you, buddy? Helix and HO doesn't need to be any less than 28 inches since you're rising 4 inches per each revolution. All right, well then what kind of space would you need for a 28-inch radius? Don't make me do math, Jason. You know I'm not good at it. Daryl, I know you're asking me about a boxcar. What size are you looking for? I might have a 50-footer I can do. Hanging around here, I won't have to buy one. It's just a kit. It's either a blue box or an AccuRail kit. I don't know what you're looking for lengthwise. It's HO, you're HO, I think, right? So, because I have an area over here coming off of the gate, this area, it's a mess. But I could make it 4x4, probably. Take a little bit of work, but not really. I mean, the table's already there. I might have to do a little bit of modifying to the table, but it's already there. Bench work and stuff. I mean, that's fine too, Daryl. You wanted to send a car. Yeah, 5x5. See, I don't think I could squeeze 5x5 out of it. Because if it came out like in this area, if it was to come out to 5, it would really cut this pinch point down way too much. Where this post is. See, if I was doing a mountain, like we're at mountains, I would maybe make the end of the peninsula into a helix and had it pop in and out of mountains. That would have been my easiest thing to do, honestly, but I didn't want to go with mountains. The area modeling is like middle Ohio, so it's like rolling hills and farmland. So I didn't really want to go that route. But it's okay. It's all good, man. This will work. I just got to find a way to hide the climb and make it accessible still. So it's just going to take some ingenuity and time to figure it out. And how to do the backdrops so that they look right, stuff like that. So I'll figure it out. It'll be what it'll be, you know. Yeah. By the time we had talked, Jason, I had already had this basically built, and I really didn't want to modify to that extent. But, you know, there would be no way to do it now. Like I could build this out to the post. I would really be losing aisle space there. You'd lose one whole side of that post, which would cut you down to just one aisle. Where's my tape measure? Let me see something. Just because we're talking about it. Yeah, it's number 20 inches there. Like 18, 17 inches there. That'd be yeah, to get that 5x5 would be tough to put it in that spot there. I'm half-ass thinking about. Not impossible, but tough. Because you'd almost have to run the main line, like not through the helix, but like it'd have to be like part of like the first turn of the helix to go. Like you'd have to, it'd be, I don't know. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. There's a part of me that wishes I would have done it because then I could have easily went down or up or like staging and then like a because originally I thought about having the 2 levels with an under the first level staging yard. And by doing it with the climb, it's just hard to do. So see you, Jerry. But oh well. What I am going to probably do is behind me where that curtain is and this wall right behind me, going that way. I want to find a way to go through that wall and put a staging yard in there. That's going to be my room eventually. My daughter moves out end of May, and we're going to slowly work on taking everything out of that room. That is my wife's crafting room and the furnace room. She has all her craft shit stored in there. But she's going to move up to my daughter's room and make that her crafting room. So it's going to be much better for her. I'm going to move my desk and everything in there. I'll probably still set up out here. I have to probably still set up out here for like live streaming and stuff, just because it's going to be darker in there. I'll put better lighting too. I have some lighting in there. I'll probably do some more lighting. But the furnace is like right there, so it's going to really suck when that kicks on, even, air, furnace, whatever, to do live streams or videos or whatever. So I'll keep like a small table I can set up out here just to set the computer and that on, or if I wanted to, whatever. But I got a lot of room here between where my peninsula ends and then here. It's a good amount of room. So the guys can easily congregate in this general area, hang out, put a couple stools, people to sit on, I don't know if it will work. I might do some measuring. I'll take some video for you, and we can maybe come up with something, Jason, because I could come through the wall. That's just a drywall wall that I can go through. So it just depends the way that room is set up. There's like a storage cabinet that's built in there, and it's not as big as you think. But we'll talk about it. Well, they ain't coming back home. I'm just kidding, John. It's a big room. It's the whole top of the house. So it's like a loft, if you will. It's a bungalow that they converted the attic space into a bedroom, one big bedroom. So we're going to leave a bed up there, and she'll put her crafting room up there too. So there'll be a room for like if somebody has to come and visit, or I guess if they move back in, I mean, the craft stuff can probably be consolidated. So I guess we'll make it more like a little bit more of a multi-purpose room, but she wants to leave some kind of bed up there. I would rather do like a futon or a fold-out couch or something like that instead of a bed. But it's going to be her room, and she can set it up how she wants. I'll help her do what I can. Problem with that room is that you got the ceilings come down and they square off. It's little cubby walls. It's tall enough down the middle of it to stand and everything, no problem. But as you get further down the walls, you're walking like that. So, but it's definitely gonna be fine for what she's doing. I'm gonna add some lighting and stuff up there, some better lighting to what's already up there. For her to do crafting and that, she'll need better lighting. For her to have a bedroom, it's fine. But the ceiling's too low to put like a ceiling fan or anything like that. I'll probably do just some of those strip lights that, the tube lighting. I think I have a couple of them in here, but just to get her some more light to see better what she's doing. So she's looking forward to that, But we've agreed that I will go ahead and move my workbench area in that room. See, this layout didn't take the whole open area of the basement originally, my old layout. When my son went off to the Army, we took his drum set down, which was in that area. I had my workbench in that area, and he was fine. But he said we'll take it down, and then I got it stored under the layout here. You probably can see it down over here, some of it. So whenever he does get his own place eventually, or gets out of the Army, or do whatever, he'll have his drums. Gets pretty good at it, man. So. Train Freak says he has a long way to go before he builds his Helix. Might be a couple years. That's okay. It's going to be what it's going to be. I actually looked at it, like, that trackside scenery guy that I got the backdrops from. He does helix, pre-made. We put it together. Helix. I was gonna say not cheap, but by the time you buy, like, look at Sparky. He built the helix. He didn't use good enough lumber and good enough plywood. It warped, whatever. So he had to go out and buy like super expensive, good quality lumber, sheet lumber, plywood. He said it was like, even then it was like $70 a sheet, and that's when plywood was like $30 a sheet. So this was like, top line, top shelf. So by the time you go out and spend, even $40, $50 a sheet, whatever it is now, even $30 a sheet. I'm using 15, 30 seconds, which is, I guess, half inch, roughly. Geez, digger. Unbelievably, his dog snapped the USB cable on my keyboard, ripped it right out, and he had to nip it and buy a new keyboard. Oh man, that sucks. But so even at that, I mean, by the time you buy the one that's already like pre-made, basically, depending on how high and how wide and how many tracks up and down, whatever, I don't think you're that far off, and it's already measured out and everything for you. So that's probably what I would do, because, well, I might have you guys fooled into thinking I'm good at building bench work. It's a pain in the ass. And to do that kind of measuring and figuring, I'd be so aggravated by it. And, if you don't get that stuff just right, you don't get it level enough when the trains come up and down, you're going to have derailments constantly and so precise. Rod and nut system is going to be better, yeah. I like how he built, I'm talking about Sparky now, I like how he built the new one. It's not circular so much as it is more oval. I think that's actually probably a little better, a little less stress on the trains, especially long trains. Gives you a little bit of a break in between that curvature. She's still using a wired key. Oh, he's asking Digger is still using a wired keyboard. Yeah. Well, I just use a laptop, so, there you go there. Oval lowers are great as well. Yeah, that's true. But you need more space, though, I would assume. But, it's, in theory, it's not too late to change things, where if I wanted to build a helix at the end of the peninsula, I could. I really basically just have, some yard tracks and the main line running on it. So, I mean, it would take some work, but I could make this 68 inches across. It's kind of square on that end and rounded on this end. So it's more like a kind of an offset teardrop, maybe. Kinda. Like it's not a true oval. It's kind of flat and then ovals out to one side, like a backwards P, almost. The letter P backwards. But probably we could, but I'd have to figure out, what to do there. It'd have to become more mountainous or something, or just, just waste the space. It'd be wasted space either way, because of the fact that I'd be taking it up with a helix. Okay, makes sense. Hey, Bob, ENSF, CSX Bob. So, We'll see. I might have some options. I might be able to do something in the other room. I'm thinking about maybe throwing a little staging yard in there just for fun. Because I had one planned up on the second level. Um, if I can do something in there, I may either make that one on the second level smaller or do away with it and do something different there. So it open up some other industry or something for me up there. But I don't know. Stacked cars on cork and code 100 track is roughly 3.25 inches high. Yeah, and you probably want to leave a little extra clearance too, wouldn't you? I'm going to go 3.5, something like that. The other thing I would have done, if I would have done the Helix, would have given me more clearance between decks, between levels. Kind of why I'm not doing much elevation changing on the bottom level because of the fact that there's not that much room in between. It's like 15 inches between the bottom of the top deck and the tabletop of the lower deck. Okay, Dick Robbins, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I always enjoy it when you do. I'm going to be getting off here anyways. I've been going on over an hour and a half, which is fine. I didn't have anywhere pressing to go today, but if I'm going to get anything done, I probably should get going and get something going. Plywood is 0.25 inches thick, so a 4-inch rise gives you 0.5 inches of height clearance, which is slightly taller than the MRA standard gauge for internal clearance. Same here, John. Well, kind of behind locked doors. That's what those louvered doors are there. Those are closet doors. I went on like Facebook Marketplace or one of those things, and somebody said, "Come and get them," or they're on the curb. Come and get them. They're free. You come and take them now before the trash gets them. They're yours. Came and got them. Because to buy those doors at the store, new, shit. It's crazy. Okay, Simon, the Runaway Enthusiast. Thanks for stopping in. So, yeah, I got them for free. Hinged them all together, and this side here is a wall, basically. And then this, I made it into a wall, and then this side here is on casters. I cut it down so it stayed pretty much the same height. That's how well, actually, the whole thing's on casters. I could move the whole thing out if I had to. But I did secure this side to the bench work here, and then those 3 panels there open up. But it keeps the cat out of here. I love the cat. He's a great cat, but he's nosy and likes to get up on things. And I was fine in the beginning, but once I started getting more things on the layout that he could destroy, I decided it was time. Like if I'm down here and it's just him and I don't care, but I don't leave him down there by himself. And it keeps him out of the furnace room too. He likes to go in there and mess with shit. So he's able to get into the laundry room, which is just through the louvered doors. Through the doors, if you go straight, you go in the laundry. If you go that way, you go up the stairs to go to the main level of the house. All right, Daryl. Thanks for stopping in. Dude, send me an email, man. Figure something out. But yeah, I kind of had to do that to keep the cat out of here. When we first got him, I had the old layout up, and he was a kitten and wasn't able to get up on the layout yet. He was too little. But then once he figured out he could, I'd come down here and everything's knocked over, and trees batted around, and people batted around, and so just curious, just being a cat. I think Robert got his cat buddy out from his training room. Robert, which Robert are we talking about? Oh, Robert, Flying Crow Robert? And that's true too. I got to be able to access it. So I'd have to totally restructure. If I put it on the end of this table or even that table over there, I wouldn't be able to get up in the middle of it. I'd have to leave it as an open helix over there. Over here, I'd have to rebuild the end of this peninsula so that it was hollow or open in the middle, I guess, so that I can get under, or at least make some access cuts in the plywood so I can get a fat body through to get in there and, you know, take care of anything stupid. Yeah, I figured it out, Jason. Flying Crow. What, you would bring his cat out to the training room with him? He's got a shed, right? Mine's in the basement. You know, it's cat kind of runs around the house and does his thing. But this was a nice alternative, putting these doors up here. So I have just little those little high hook type latches, and I just latch it, keeps them out. I may eventually figure out some kind of better latch system, but for now it works. Okay, Lee. Talk to you later. So would he bring the cat out there with him, or is it an outdoor cat to just get in there? John, one of my cats likes to watch train videos with me. That's funny. So, yeah, they're good fun. Actually named him Chessie. I got him from Justin. Justin, the Gooseland. Gooseland is he works for the APL in Portage County, and he fosters cats at home. And this was a foster that he had. And I would go over to his house and mess around with his trains, and this cat would just, for some reason, the cat attached to me, and didn't want a cat. And the wife's wanted a cat for years. She had a couple when we first got married, and after they passed away, I was like, nah, no more cats. We had dogs, and then I don't know, this cat kind of grew on me, so I got it for the wife, but she says it's my cat. You know, mostly thought he was an outside cat, and I was an inside cat. Yeah, our pup just passed away over the last summer, and boy, he's a great dog. Oh my God, he was a great dog. He was a golden retriever mixed with like some kind of beagle or hound or something. Just the most like calm dog, laid back, lazy ass. Oh, he had a lot of hound. He had that lazy hound in him. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got it in my mind that I wanted to do this area, and it's not going to be a bunch of mountains. So we'll see. I could change that on the second level a little bit because I don't have anything above it but the ceiling. Peak. That's funny. All right, guys. I'm seriously going to head out. I do need to get something done today. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen here. So, your 11-year-old beagle like to talk on your videos. That's funny. Yeah, this dog we had, you could tell he had some kind of beagle or hound in him because of the way that he barked. He would get that little, that howl, that beagle bark howl, whatever you want to call it. So, all right. With that, I'm going to end this, and I will talk to you guys next week. Be sure to catch Jim Tedesco tonight for a short line Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And Happy Valley Hobbies, I think it is. I think he goes on after that. And then you get the Canadians for Third Rail Thursday at, I think they go on at 8. So get you all that fun stuff. And you got your Sidetrack Sunday guys on Sundays. And, next Tuesday, I think is back to Wilmer for On Track Tuesday. And Heath usually goes on after that. So, a lot of good stuff to watch. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys spending some of your day with me. It's always a joy. I really do enjoy these Thursday mornings. And it's just good times, man. It's John. John is on this Sunday. Okay, cool. And we'll get you guys around. So, talk to you later. Bye for now.